बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, today we are going to start Vogel's approximation method. I will teach you Vogel's approximation method, which is the last method from among the initial basic feasible solution. Before this, I have taught you northwest corner rule and least cost method. This is the last method in the initial basic feasible solution. So we will proceed in this way. Example number 1, using Vogel's approximation method, find min cost from the following transportation model. Here I have used the technique using the single table. In the single, remaining in the single table, you will solve the problem. You will find the min cost. So moving in this way, yes, here you see that we have a table where there are 3 sources and 4 destinations. Supply and columns on both sides are equal. Your supply and demand are equal. Balance model. Yes. Now here we will find, I will write row penalty, and on this side I will write column penalty. Yes. Or make you more clearer. Yes. On this side I have write column penalty. On this side I have write, yes, I have written row penalty, and on this side I have written column penalty. How penalties are calculated? Yes, in this way you will, yes, in this way you will find the penalties. How? The procedure of finding the penalties is this. In the first row, you see that these are your costs. In each cell, these are your costs. So you will find the smaller 2 costs in this row. This is the first cost, which is smaller one, smallest, and the next smaller cost is 10. So you will find the difference of these two values. Here 10 minus 2 is equal to 8. This is your first penalty. The penalty will be calculated in the first row as you will find the smaller cost in this row. The smallest cost is 2 and the next smallest cost is 10. So you will take the difference. 10 minus 2 is equal to 8. This is your first penalty. In the second, so in the second row, in the similar fashion, you will find the smaller 2 cost. These are 2 smaller costs in this row. So the difference 9 minus 7 is equal to 2. In the similar fashion, in the third row, you see that 14 and 4 and 14 are these 2 smaller costs. These 2 are smaller costs. The difference 14 minus 4 is equal to 10. Similarly, here on the column side, the column penalties are calculated like the row penalties. In the column side, in the first column, you see that which 2 costs are smaller. These 2 costs, 4 and 10, are smaller from the other costs. So you will take the difference. 10 minus 4 equal to 6. Similarly, here 2 and 7 are the smaller. In the second column, smaller cost. So you will take the difference. 7 minus 2 is equal to 5. In the third, you see that these are 2 smaller costs, 16 and 9. You will take the difference. 16 minus 9 equal to 7. And on the last fourth column, you see that 11 and 18 are the smaller costs. These are 2 smaller costs. So you will take the difference. 18 minus 11 equal to 7. These are the column penalties. These are the row penalties. So you will see that which penalty is the maximum or larger from among the other penalties. Here 8, 2, 10, 7, 7, 5 and 6. On both sides, this is the penalty which is maximum from all the penalties. So you will take this value. So you will take this row where you will make your allocation, first allocation. Yes, you will proceed in this way. You will see for these are the 4 cells where you will make your first allocation. But in which cell you will make your first allocation? Yes, in this way. Here, this is the cell which has minimum cost in this row. Here you will make your first allocation. You see that in this cell, the demand is 5 and supply is 10. So 5 is minimum. 5 will be put here and you will put cross in front of 5 and put 5 in front of 10. Here 5 supply is remaining, and for your more clearance, you will put cross in the blank cells as there is cross signs. So you will put cross signs in these, and no allocation will be made in this column. Making it more clear, I will highlight the column and show you that in this column no further allocation will be made. So moving in the same way, we will again calculate the row penalties and column penalties. So yes, but now your remaining table is, this is your, this black side, this white cell, white side is your remaining table. Here we have second column, third column and fourth column, but the rows are same, 1, 2, 3. This is your table. From here you will calculate your row penalty and column penalty. Here, moving in this first row, here you have the smaller two values, 2 and 11. So your first penalty is 11 minus 2. 2 is smaller. So, and next smaller is 11. So you will calculate your penalty as 11 minus 2 is equal to 9. And for the next row, the penalty will be 9 minus 7. This column is totally eliminated. So we will find the difference among the remaining these costs. Which two are smaller? These two are smaller. 9 minus 7 is equal to 2. And in the third row, you will find, yes, you will find the difference 16 minus 14. 16 minus 14. Now, you have no connection with this column. You will find the difference from among the other costs which are smaller in this row. So 16 minus 14 equal to 2. Similarly, we have no connection with this column. So you will calculate your column penalty in the, you will start your finding the column penalties in the second column. So this is the way. Yes. In these 3 columns, you will find the penalties in these things. Here, smaller one, these are 2 smaller, 7 minus 2. These are 2 smaller, 16 minus 9 in this column. And 18 and 11 and 18 are smaller in this column. So the 18 minus 11 is the difference, which is 7. You see that on both sides, you see that which penalty is maximum. Yes. This is the maximum penalty. In row 1, you have the maximum penalty. So you will make your allocation in this row. But keep in mind, I have told you earlier in the first allocation that you will make your allocation in this row. How? You will see which cell has the smaller cost or minimum cost. This cell has the smaller cost. So you will make your allocation here. You see that here we have 15 on both sides. Yes, here is 15 as the demand, 15 as the supply. So both are equal, both are simultaneously being satisfied. So you will put 15 here and also put cross in front of 15 on the row side, and you will put 0 in front of 15 on the column side. When you see that you have same values, you will put cross on the row side and 0 on the other side. So for your more convenience, I highlight this column. First of all, I will put the cross, yes, the cross in the row which has cross. In these blank cells, yes, like, yes, these are the blank cells where you have cross sign. It means the supply is complete. Your supply is complete. No more supply is here. So this source is now complete. You will put cross signs, and for your more convenience, I highlight this row. This row is now eliminated from rest of the table. Now your remaining table is this. Here we have 2 rows and 3 columns. This row is now completely eliminated from the table. So here you are left with zero demand, here 15, here 15. And here you have supply 25 and the supply is 5. This is your remaining table. Now, in the similar way, you will find the row penalties and column penalties. Here you will find in this row, you will find the row penalty and column penalty. Yes, in this. Yes, I have completed 9 minus 7 to 16 minus 14 to these two are smaller cost in this row. These two are smaller cost in this row. So 2 is the difference. Here you find the difference 14 minus 7, 16 minus 9, and 20 minus 18. Here the difference is 2, 7, 7. You will see for the next allocation which penalty is maximum. Here 2, here the penalty is 2, here the penalty is 2, here is also 2, here the penalty is 7, here the penalty is 7. You have 2 penalties which are equal. It is up to you which penalty you select for your allocation. I have selected this penalty for my next allocation and showing it maximum in this way. Yes, this is the maximum. You may take this 7 or this 7. Yes, this is the maximum. Now where I will make our next allocation, in this column you will make your allocation, and in this column you will see 7 is the minimum cost, so you will make in this cell your next allocation. Yes, here we have, you will make your allocation in this cell. This is the minimum cost in this column. So here we see that 0 is the demand and 25 is the supply. So your demand is 0. You will put 0 in this cell and put cross in front of 0, and your supply will remain same, and also put cross sign in the blank cell. This is your loaded cell and this is your blank cell. So blank cell and loaded cell, I will highlight this column for the purpose of elimination and to make you more clear. Yes, in this way. Yes, where you see the cross sign, this is the cross sign. Here no need of demand in this column. So I have eliminated this column and we are left with 2 rows and 2 columns. This is eliminated. We cannot find the penalties, row penalties or column penalties from these cells. So moving in the same way, you will find the row penalty and column penalty. Yes. Here you see that 20 minus 9 is the first penalty, 11. 18 minus 16 is the next penalty, 2. Here 16 minus 9, 7. And 20 minus 18, 2. Yes, we have calculated the penalties and see that which penalty is maximum from among these penalties, 7 to 11 and 2. 11 is maximum. So you will make your allocation in this row. So which you see, which cost is minimum, 9 is minimum. So you will make your allocation in this row. You see that here 15 is the demand and 25 is the supply. Yes, you will write 15 here and put cross in front of 15 and put 10 as your supply reduces to 10 from 25 to 10. Yes. Now I will highlight this column as there is a cross sign, and also put cross in this column. This shows that now there is no need of this column. So as the demand, your demand is complete. You are left with this column. You are now left with this column. Now what to do? You will make, when you see that your single column or row is left, you will make no more penalties. You will make no more penalties. So when you just by inspection, you will allocate the next allocation. You will make the next allocation in this way. Here you have 15 as the demand, and in supply side you have 10 supply and 5 supply. So you will make your first allocation in this column which has the minimum cost. This is the minimum cost. So you will make your first allocation in this cell. Yes, here the demand is 15 and supply is 5. So you will put 5 in this cell and put cross in front of 5 as nothing is left behind, and put 11 in front of 15 as we have 10 the remaining demand. And in the next cell, then you will move to the next cell. This is the next cell with demand with cost 20. Here the supply is 10 and demand is also 10. So you will put 10 in this cell. So I have told you, you will make your yes, I have in this way make my allocations. Yes, first of all I have made my allocation in this cell, and in the next step, yes, in the next step I made my next and last allocation in this. Where you see the cost with blue colors, these are the cells which are called loaded cells, where you have made your allocations. Now in the similar way, you see that how many basic variables are there. There are 6 basic variables: m plus n minus 1, 3 plus 4 minus 1 equal to 6, 3 rows, 4 columns. 6 are the basic variables, and you see that 6 are the allocations. Here you count the blue, these cells, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. These are 6 cells which have been allocated. For main cost, you will multiply, yes, 2 by 15, 7 by 0, 9 by 15, 20 by 10, 4 by 5, and in the last 18 by 5. You will first this first row, next the second row, next the third row. In this manner, you will find the mean cost, which is 475. So the method is completed. I have taught you Vogel's approximation method with the help of a single table, and there is another method with multiple tables. The process is same, but with little bit difference. I will show you that method in the next lecture. Today I end this lecture, and I hope that you have learned from this technique how to calculate the Vogel's approximation method. This Vogel approximation is now completed. Thank you very much.